Kate's mountaintop surprise for this amazing young man.
You're not too close.
It was just like crazy because I didn't recognise it at first.
Can you imagine you're sort of halfway up one of the peaks and you think, oh, that looks definitely like the Princess of Wales.
Prince George has been on work experience again.
There's a sort of a very slow and gentle introduction for him.
And why next week could end up being an even bigger one for Prince Harry. Welcome to a bonus episode of Talking Royals. It's me, Charlene White, and Chris and Lizzie. Now, the last episode we did was all very Harry focused, but actually, I just figured the royals have been up to so much this week. We should give the people what they want, and that's an extra bonus episode.
We should talk royals.
We should talk royals.
Really?
And actually,
what they called it, the podcast Talking Royals?
Yeah,
Really?
weird that, isn't it? Yeah. You're particularly excited about the one we're kicking off with because Kate has been climbing 3 peaks. And the reason why you're excited about that, Lizzie, is because you've done it before.
I have.
You're going to have to explain to our international viewers exactly what 3 peaks is.
It's a challenge to climb 3 of the highest peaks in Scotland, England and Wales within a 24-hour period. So she started in Scotland at Ben Nevis, then did Scafell Pike and then finished at Snowdon. So I did it in 2012.
Yes. Yeah, just to clarify, you didn't do it with...
I didn't do it with her, no. But it
The interesting thing is, you've got to do it in 24 hours, and Lizzie's clock stopped at...
23 hours and 52 minutes.
No.
She was 8 minutes from failing, and you know how Lizzie hates to fail. She hates to lose.
To lose.
So
but
apparently she ran down Snowdon at breakneck speed.
I think we did break into a little jog at one point. But because it's not just
tough. It's basically...
It is tough. It's tough because it's not just the climbing, but you have to get between the peaks as well. So if you hit a traffic jam, then I mean, she obviously probably wouldn't.
Yeah. But you have to do it at this time of year because of the length of the days.
Yeah.
So it's best to do it around the longest day, which we've just had in the northern hemisphere. So you go up Ben Nevis first, which is the highest peak in Scotland, and then you drive down to the Lake District in the northwest of England, and you do Scafell Pike, and then you drive to Wales, and you do the Snowdon. So that's the 3 peaks in Great Britain. We did ask Kensington Palace who did she do it with, and they said she did it solo. But then you've got cameras there, and also she had help from Mountain Rescue, of which I think William is patron, isn't he?
Oh, come on. So there's not like a single one of Kate's mates who was like, oh, I'm up for doing that.
I think when they say did it solo, it was like a very personal challenge.
So there were other people there.
There were other people supporting and around, and she was met by her family at the end, including Prince William, the Wales children, the Middletons. But it was a very sort of a personal experience for her, and she had...
I think a physical and a mental challenge as well, because this is, and as she said in a post that she did, it's about not just going through cancer treatment, but also living life after cancer treatment as well.
Yeah, she spoke about being incredibly grateful to be here, to be able to walk these peaks, and the reason she's done it is to raise awareness for the Royal Marsden cancer charity where she was treated. She talks a lot about the holistic care when you're going through something like that, not just when you're going through the treatment, but also the recovery and after you've been through the treatment, and how that is very much about the whole person and not just about the clinical treatment that you receive, but also the entire holistic approach. And she's a we know how much she has credited nature with helping her personally with her recovery. So it sort of seems an appropriate challenge for her to have done.
And she spoke to 11-year-old Ted, who completed the challenge whilst in a wheelchair. Let's take a listen to what Kate had to say.
How are you doing, Ted? You're not too cold. It's not great weather, is it?
It's spectacular.
No, so many people are still in their t-shirts.
And actually, Ted, bless his little cotton socks, he was on This Morning this week.
He was.
He's so cute. Here he is.
It was like one of the most memorable things of my life, and when I met the princess, it was just like crazy because I didn't recognise it at first, but when I realised it was her, it was just amazing.
And she has actually since made a personal donation to Ted and the charity he was raising money for. You can imagine you're sort of halfway up one of the peaks and haven't had much sleep, and you think, oh, that looks definitely like the Princess of Wales.
Is it like? Is it the woman from the local calf? Is it?
Am I hallucinating?
But also, like you saw up there, it was quite misty and can be quite foggy when you're that high up. And I mean, I've done Snowdon. I've done the one in the Lake District. I haven't done Ben Nevis. And if you get a beautiful day, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But
a miserable day is
a miserable day. But you saw Kate there with a hood up and all the fog, and you probably thought, is that her?
That's true.
When we did it, it was similar to the weather that.
Oh, was it?
Kate
I know how much.
Lizzie mentioned that
how important your coiffed hair means to you, Lizzie.
Oh no, it was.
I'm sure
it would
you
have
weren't
definitely
happy
been
about
under a hat.
She mentioned that she's done the 3 peaks.
Barely.
No.
Barely.
The Princess of Wales is raising money for the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity that I mentioned earlier. So we didn't find out about this until she had finished the challenge.
Yeah.
But yes, she's raising money, and I'm sure lots of awareness.
Exactly. But she was also with George at RAF Coningsby as well to mark Armed Forces Day. These sorts of visits are very important for George, aren't they?
Yeah, so there was a post from Kensington Palace on National Armed Forces Day of the Princess of Wales and Prince George visiting RAF Coningsby, and they were their sort of a tribute to sacrifice and service. And the reason this is important is Prince George is one day going to be king, and he is going to be commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And we've spoken a lot on this podcast about this gentle introduction to public life, and this is another example of that, I think, sort of introducing him slowly without the cameras there. They obviously had their social media team there taking some video, but the media weren't there with him. So it is a sort of a very slow and gentle introduction for him, but an important one nonetheless.
Yeah, for our international viewers, Chris, can you explain the importance of that? Because if you are a monarch, you have to, so you are the head of the armed forces, but, you know, Harry and William and Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, they've all done stints within our armed forces.
Yeah, and the king himself. He was in the Royal Navy. Prince Harry, of course, was in the British Army, went 2 tours of Afghanistan. Prince William served in the Navy in the form of the RAF in the form of the rescue helicopters in northern Wales. So, yeah, it's important that members of the armed forces, if you are going to look other soldiers, sailors and airmen in the eye, you need to have been able to have served yourself. So one would imagine at some point in the future George will have to have some experience of that. We don't know how that's going to happen. It's obviously a long way off for him, but yes, you're not head of the armed forces in deciding which tanks to send where, of course, but you're the ceremonial head, the sort of supreme commander, if you like, of the British Armed Forces.
Do you remember on the anniversary of VE Day, they took him? There was a reception at Buckingham Palace where for veterans, and George went with the Prince and Princess of Wales. Showed a really keen interest. You could see him chatting to lots of the veterans. Again, that's all part of just very carefully thinking about George's future and what's sort of an appropriate introduction. But while he was there at RAF Coningsby, he got a chance to sit in a Spitfire and a Typhoon jet.
That's very cool.
That is very cool.
That is very cool.
That's good. I have been in a Typhoon. I've been in a Tornado once.
Have you?
And that was quite a frightening experience because it's only a 2-man aircraft and they go, inevitably, this sounds pretty obvious, really fast. And when I did it, it was a bit of a foggy day, like being like Kate at the top of the mountain. And therefore, you can't actually work out when you're sat there which is up and which is down because it's doing lots of spinning, which obviously confuses the brain. And you also wear this suit because of anti-G-force that actually pushes the blood back up into your body when it all drops into your feet. And guess who had to use the sick bag?
Did you throw up?
Oh, my, yes.
Oh,
and apparently everyone does on their first go. But it was like...
Did they say that to make
I
you
thought
feel
I'll be
better?
fine.
Did they say that to make you feel better about
Probably, but it was yeah. I think we went from kind of I remember going from about Norfolk up to the Humber Bridge in about like 3.5 minutes or something.
Wow.
It was quite phenomenal. But
You weren't flying?
No.
You sat beside the
a good
pilot or
thing.
behind the pilot?
Behind.
Oh, thank God, because you don't want to distract him with you throwing up
quite.
a bag.
Yeah.
Let's move on from that, shall we? The King and Queen have been up in Scotland doing Scotland Week.
Yes.
So do we have a Welsh Week?
No, you kind of have a Cornwall Week, don't you? When they do lots of things in Cornwall.
Do we have an England Week?
No, and maybe that I think the question you're asking is why don't they just go to Scotland more often, and why do they have to have a dedicated week?
When he was Prince of Wales, he used to have a Wales
A
week.
Wales week, yeah. I haven't seen a Wales week with the new Prince of Wales.
No.
So they tend to sort of want to theme things, and this is when they go to the Palace of Holyrood House, which is the monarch's official residence in Scotland, which of course is at the bottom of the Royal Mile in Edinburgh, and they do the ceremonial things. Also, the King opened a new session of the Scottish Parliament as well. So there's lots of important things to do because. Remember, the King has a slightly different constitutional relationship with Scotland, but he is, of course, the King of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and therefore they do have to get themselves around. It's sometimes called Royal Week, sometimes it's Scotland Week, sometimes called Holyrood Week. But it's
all means the same
I mean,
thing.
it's a lot. I've got the list here: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Got like something to do every single day.
Yeah, there is no doubt that the King's
the name Scotland
diary
Week.
recently he has been incredibly busy.
You can't call it Scotland Week and just do an event on Sunday.
Well, yeah, I know, but then we can also do like royal tours of countries, which should last a week and sometimes last like a day and a half.
Well,
so who knows?
You
how long it's
make a
gonna
valid
last.
point. All you need is one overnight stay, and it becomes a 2-day visit.
I think it's fair to say though that the King is in no way slowing down.
No, well, the King doesn't do that. The King does.
But then they do ramp it up at this time of year. I mean, even
Yeah.
with Kate being, it was shaking hands. I saw at Wimbledon, surprised people that were queuing at Wimbledon.
Yeah.
They do ramp things up at this time of year because then they take the summer off, don't they?
Yes,
From
and then we will see particularly over August. The royal family traditionally have their summer break, and lots of them will go up to Balmoral over the summer holidays.
I know we talked about security and all of that stuff for next week. Actually, there's other stuff happening with Harry next week, isn't there?
I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up, to be fair. So we talked at length. Go and watch the episode about Harry and his security and should he get it, should he not get it, will he bring his kids, will he won't bring kids. As we record, we still don't know all that information. Next week as well, the judge at the High Court has decided to give his ruling on that big court case, the one that Harry gave evidence at, alongside Dame Doreen Lawrence, as well as Elton John, David Furnish, Sadie Frost, Liz Hurley, the case that they were bringing against Associated Newspapers Limited, the publishers of the Mail and Mail on Sunday. And he's going to do it on Tuesday. Guess who's doing his first public engagement on Tuesday?
So are they? Is he expected to be in court for that? Are any of them expected to be?
No, it'll be handed down as a written judgment.
Is Harry going to do that strange thing like he did last time, where he did a random interview when he got the ruling over his security and did a random interview about it?
Well,
he likes to chat.
He's kind of at an event as it's happening. So whilst he's at an Invictus themed event, someone's probably going to hand him a big wad of paper and say, "There you go. Right. There's the ruling from the judge." So it's a big deal because this case, case went on.
Are you going to print it out and give it to him?
Well, no, we're just going to give it to you actually, and you can summarise it for us. So.
Okay.
But he has a series of engagements next week. The main reason he's here is for the Invictus Games 1 year to go until Birmingham, but we'll also see him carry out engagements to do with other charities that he supports, such as Well Child and Scotty's Little Soldiers.
Oh, so he's going to have a busy week.
He is going to have a busy week.
See, I mean, he may not be a working royal, but he is also ramping it up before the summer break.
Yes, I don't. I mean, we know for sure that Harry's team were not aware that this ruling was going to come from the High Court on Tuesday, and we think it's going to almost happen at exactly the same time.
Do you have any steer of which direction it might go? Nothing.
Although a lot of people who covered it thought that the claimants didn't provide a foolproof case. We don't know, of course. I'm just saying what people said at the time when they covered it. It's for a judge to decide whether or not the Associated Newspapers, who vigorously defend their actions, but the accusation was that they engaged in what's called UIG, unlawful information gathering.
So we shall see. Gosh, it's going to be a busy week, isn't it?
It's going to be a busy week.
We might end up
with
another
two podcasts
episodes.
next week.
Probably end up with doing 2 podcasts again. But look, thank you very much, and thank you very much for joining us twice this week. We're spoiling you. If you haven't already, check out our other episode, which we did just talk about briefly, and that was about Prince Harry and his security. We are going to be back next week for more on that. We might end up doing a couple more. Might end up doing like a 2 for again next week, so we'll see. But anyway, goodbye for now.